What's up, guys? Today I'm going to take you through the setup process of a race boot for a ski instructor. I've got a lot of work to do on this. This is the Dobermann non-RD, so it's a 96mm elastic boot, but it's built pretty much the same way as the race department. So we've got a lot of plastic to work with. We're going to be grinding and punching, doing a mix of both. I'm just going to take you through that steps. Got a lot of marks to work with here. So what I do is I like to go in and outline the work I'm going to be doing in advance and give myself some stuff to aim for here. I'm going to feather it out. This footy's got a pretty developed calcification on the front side of the ankle bone. Just kind of through there. It's kind of an oblong piece. So we're going to be punching that. Just wipe the lipstick out now. It's kind of 2 points of the ankle that are problematic. So we're going to make sure to kind of aim dead middle and then know that we might need to adjust fore or aft depending on what he's feeling. And then we've got a lot of heel calcification going from skiing around in ski boots that are too loose. Working in them all day. What we're also going to do for this one, it's a little bit different, is because this is just the beginning of the process, we're going to be looking at canting, we're going to be doing cuff alignment, we're going to be taking everything apart anyway. So I am going to take the cuff off to do the work on this, which again, I don't usually do that if I can avoid it, but I'm going to be unscrewing all this hardware anyway to adjust alignment. So to make my life easier for grinding in this boot, we're going to take the cuff off. I'll probably be grateful that I'm going to be Loctiting everything back down because these were not very tight anyway. Just take it all out. Beauty. I've got a new toy. Check that out. I don't even know if I'm supposed to use it yet. It just got dropped off by the rep. Top secret stuff that I'm showing you guys. Shiva. Check it out. Boom. This is pretty cool. This is a new shape. So 140 with cooling, get that going. We're gonna let that heat itself up. That's what's so nice about using the Shiva, is that I can multitask. So I can have that heating up on punching while I knock out the grinds on this other boot. All right, cuffs off. Let's get this thing queued up. This is a massive boot. He's in 29.5, which means we've got a lot of work to do on the grinds. Do this for me, but I think I'm gonna have to get my headlamp in here regardless. One of the reasons this guy is in this boot is because of how much plastic we have to work with. His feet, he's been in a boot that's too loose for him because he has a big foot and he had limited resources when he was getting his first pair of instructor boots. The problem is his feet are just, the slop in this boot is making it so that the feet are, there's a ton of movement banging around and it's causing a lot of calcification around certain bony areas of the foot. Like his heels, for example, has these massive heel spurs that are developing that we're trying to be preventative of it getting worse. Fill the footy. We're going to start with 5th mat. Styloid all the way up. He has kind of a meaty, muscly portion from styloid almost up to the 6th toe. I'm going to feather this up to where his 6th toe will land, just to give it a little bit more space. I'm going to have emphasis back in the rear part of this grind back here, kind of where I noted to myself to really work on. So we can get this thing going. So that's pretty good back there. A little rough, but we're going to buff it out. But that's the depth that I want for the styloid. So pretty decent grind in there, and we're going to feather that forward. And I'm just going super light at a high RPM right now, just to kind of smooth out some of those rougher grinds. Slow down a little bit. Like, yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. We want it to be real smooth though, without going through the boot. Just kind of feathering that grind forward, and that's pretty good. We're going to go in and buff it out a little bit. Just take the flapper wheel. And you don't want to rely too heavily on this to smooth your stuff out. It's just a polish. Nice. That's pretty buttery now. So we probably got a couple millimeter, if not 3 millimeters of room in there. Further back, and we can always take more out, but he doesn't need a ton there. It's just enough to let the foot sit comfortably. Now it's time for the heel. It's pretty money. I'm going to leave this side a little bit more sharp because I want this. He's got a really developed classic heel spur on this side, so I do want it to have its own pocket to hang out in. Awesome. And that's the grind on that boot. Beauty. So, decent amount of plastic in there, huh? Get the air treatment. We're going to come back to polish. Make sure everything's smooth and pro. So now we're just going to reattach everything. And we're going to be doing cuff alignment anyway, so this isn't going to get tightened down super tight. It's just for doing the ankle punch that I want to have those connection pieces back in there. So there we go. I love when it cooperates. Okay. Ankle punch. This ankle is worse than the other one. The other one just kind of had to go broad. This one we've got those two bony spots. So we're going to aim kind of dead middle, but we're going to know that I might have to go back and touch up this punch a little bit on the front or the back of it for where he kind of has like a unique protrusion. So it's just kind of like got some weird bone spur action going on. So we're going to come back over here. On race boots, when I'm punching race boots, I always bolt the boot down to the ground. Thing is, this isn't a true plug boot. Or not down to the ground, to a plate, to prevent it from warping. Thing with this boot is, it's not an actual plug boot, so it's a little bit less critical. Where I'm punching, there's not a ton of plastic, and this boot is so freaking big that there's so much plastic in there, it's not going to warp while punching it this way. So we don't have to worry about it. Okay, round two. Just to recap here, footwork's done, validated, boot feels good, everything's good, everything's level, but we need to cant. We found out that we need to cant the left boot half degree in. Yeah, so the boot's at 90. Cool. So we need to bring the boot in. that's pretty much dead flat right off the bat. Yeah, boom. We're perfect on flatness, but now we need to do the toe and heel strikes. So, we'll bring you over here as we do heel. Okay. Let's check that it's actually at the right degree angle. That's half degree. Wonderful. Manufactured heel lug. Let's see how far off the toe is. So you can see we're a little bit off on the toe. See that gap that we need to get rid of. So okay, that ought to do it. That's perfect on that side. Perfect. We're good. Okay. And you guys have seen me put plates on boots 100 times already, but you're going to see it again. We'll speed it up this time. One down. Time to cut them. So once I clean the toe and heel lugs up, this boot is ready to ski. We just wanted to show you guys what can go into a full race boot prep for working professionals. Boom, done. And by the way, all this is included with the purchase of a boot from the Start House. See you guys next time.